Hey guys, Dusty here. Today I'm going to be doing an overview of On Running and most of the shoes that they offer. And I'm actually shooting this video today in my local running store, Cowichan Valley Running, here on Vancouver Island. So a big thank you to Laura for letting me use her shop. And if you haven't heard of On Running, they're a Swiss company that's been around since 2010, and they do a few things that make their shoes different from other brands. So the first, most obvious difference is the sole. On Running calls these pods their clouds or cloud pods. And essentially how they work is they're individually going to compress when your foot hits the ground and then decompress when your foot leaves the ground, giving you cushion and energy return in that way. And then another thing that's unique to On is all of their shoes features what On calls a Speedboard. And essentially that's just a plastic plate that runs the full length of the shoe. And you can actually see it in most of their models in this channel here that runs along the middle of the shoe. You can see under the midsole where that Speedboard is. And what a Speedboard does is it's going to load up every foot strike and help propel you forward or give you a smooth transition. So when you combine the Speedboard with the cloud pods, you're going to get a unique running experience that you're not going to find in any other brand. Now another thing that makes On Running shoes different from most other companies is that they all have built-in sock liners. So because of this, On Running shoes has some of the best on-foot feeling shoes. And because there's built-in sock liners, that means there's little to no seams. So you can go sockless or with socks in On Running shoes. So those are the main differences between On Running shoes and other brands. Now we'll go over some of the models that they offer. First up, we have the OG. This is the first shoe that On Running ever came out with, and this one is simply known as their On Cloud. Initially, it was designed as a racing shoe, but since then, it's kind of just found its way onto a lot of runners as just kind of a daily casual shoe. So you could still use this shoe for running, but On is going to offer a lot of other options that are going to be better at running specifically than this shoe. But this shoe, it also comes with these elastic laces, so really easy to get the shoe on and off. This is the colorway that I have, just a basic black and white, but the shoe comes in a wide array of different fun colors, and this shoe, I believe, also comes in a waterproof version. Next up, we move on to the Cloud X, and this is going to be a good option for those of you that want a shoe to go to the gym with. So I wouldn't recommend you use the Cloud X for long runs, but you can do short runs, some easy runs, maybe some speed work, but this is going to be a good cross training shoe. So a lot of people that wear this shoe are people that are going to be going to CrossFit, doing some boot camps, some HIIT workouts, and some light running as well. Next up, we'll move along to the Cloudflow. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know this is one of my all-time favorite shoes. So this is a really lightweight, versatile road running shoe. This is a shoe you can do it all in. You can do easy runs, tempo runs, speed runs, long runs. It can be your race day shoe. Very comfy feeling shoe. The only bad thing I'll say about this shoe is it's not the greatest on trails or gravel, and that's because of these cloud pods. They're all disconnected, and this channel here in the middle, it tends to pick up rocks and gravel, that sort of a thing. But if you're looking for a shoe and you're going to stick mostly to pavement, you can't go wrong with a Cloudflow. Next up, we move on to another road running shoe, the Cloudswift. And this shoe has a totally different feel from the Cloudflow. As you can see, this shoe curves up in the toe quite a bit more, and this shoe is going to have what's called a rocker feel to it. So because of the geometry of this shoe, it's going to help rock or roll you forward. Some runners like it, some don't. It won't take you very long to get used to it if you've never ran in a shoe like this before. But this shoe in particular is a beast of a daily trainer. I have two pairs of this shoe, and the first pair that I have, they have I think 400 kilometers on them, and they show very little signs of wear. Even the midsole hasn't broken down that much. And at least for myself, I think I can probably get like 800K or more out of this shoe. So a little bit heavier than the Cloudflow. This shoe is just going to be a really good workhorse for a lot of you. I usually keep this shoe to easy runs for myself, anywhere from like 30 minutes on the low end all the way up to, I think I've done over 20K in this shoe, so it can certainly handle the long runs. And this shoe is going to offer a little bit more support than the Cloudflow because it features this midfoot cage here. So if you're looking for a shoe that can do it all, that's built like a tank, and you're going to get a lot of miles out of, check out the Cloudswift. Okay, now we move on to the Cloud Stratus. And this shoe was the first shoe from On Running that featured a double layer of their Cloud pods. So you have extra cushioning or a double layer of the Cloud pods from the heel all the way till about the forefoot. And this is one of their max cushion shoes. And while it's max cushioned, I wouldn't call it like marshmallow soft like you're gonna find in other brands like Hoka shoe. But with that being said, it's still going to offer plenty of cushion, enough to handle those long miles, even if you're a heavier runner. And another cool thing about the Cloud Stratus is it features a ton of options as far as the lacing system goes. So on the upper, it comes with another row of holes that you can lace up if you need to make it a little bit wider. And then it has this star lacing pattern here at the bottom. So if you need the shoe a little bit wider or a little bit narrower, or if you need to take some pressure away from a problem area, this shoe has you covered with their lacing options. Now we're gonna move away from the pavement and get into some trails with On Running's Cloud Venture. So the Cloud Venture has a pretty aggressive outsole, and the rubber that they use on the outsole is what On Running calls their mission grip rubber. So it's very, very sticky. This shoe also comes in a waterproof version as well, and a lot of people will buy the Cloud Venture as a hiking shoe if they're not one to like wearing a hiking boot out on the trails. So pretty heavy duty trail shoe. This is gonna handle some pretty nasty conditions out there and still being really grippy because of that mission grip outsole. And rest assured your foot is going to be protected in the Cloud Venture out on the trails. Next up we have On's latest shoe, and my latest purchase from On Running as well. They're the new trail shoe, the Cloudultra. So this shoe, kind of like the Cloud Stratus, has a double layer of the Cloud pods as well. And for the first time ever in On's history, they've kind of done away with the Cloud pods on the bottom. So it's all connected here. The channel isn't really big, so you won't have to worry at all about getting rocks or sticks stuck in the bottom of your shoe. As far as fit of this shoe, it fits a little bit narrower, and it is a little bit hard to get on at first because the tongue is all one piece. But once you do get your foot inside the shoe, it's very, very comfy. And this shoe also features this cool little flip on the bottom of the laces here. So being a shoe designed for ultra running, our feet tend to swell over time. So when that happens, you just flip this switch here and it'll release the laces on the bottom of the shoe, giving the shoe hopefully a little bit more room for your foot to breathe. Now, as far as the outsole goes, it isn't near as aggressive as the Cloud Venture. So for your really nasty conditions, you're probably better off with the Cloud Venture. But with that being said, this shoe really shines on pavement as well. So this can be a really nice road to trail option for you. And as far as the grip goes on the outside, it's still using the mission grip rubber, so it's still really, really sticky. And for me personally, this is my new favorite trail shoe. So there's a few models I didn't go over, but those are certainly the main ones and the ones that are offered here at the shop. And if you're interested in getting a pair for yourself and you're Canadian like me, I'll put a link to this shop down below in the description. And if you live anywhere else in the world, I'll put a link in the description for you as well. So thanks for watching. Feel free to ask any questions about On Running shoes down below in the comments and I'll get back to you. And I'll see you in the next video.